Okay, guys, we're recording. So I am just so blessed to have Alli Mae Fletcher on our call tonight and leading our call for us tonight. She and I kind of met through Facebook just because she had just kind of been just blowing everybody away. And so she was a very recognizable name to us when she first joined Plexus because she was just going so crazy fast. And I had the pleasure of actually meeting Alli at the beach this past weekend at Ruby Retreat, and we just had the best time. And I was just blown away. I hope you don't take this offensively, but how young she was, but how amazingly smart she is. Not that 20-year-olds are dumb, they're not, but just super intelligent and very knowledgeable. And I'll tell you guys, I immediately messaged her and said, can you do a training for us on Instagram? She has taken Instagram and done something amazing with it. And a lot of people are using Instagram. She just was the smart one that went and figured it all out and how to use it and how to use it to her benefit in her business. And so tonight, she is going to kind of talk to us a little bit about how to use Instagram. We are assuming that you all already have Instagram accounts. And if you don't, then you'll need to set one of those up. But we're going to assume that you all already have an Instagram account and that we can go from that point. Okay. So I'm going to let her just take it away and she's a senior gold ambassador, guys. So I just wanted you to know that too. All right, Alli, you take it away.
Yeah, so if y'all want, like if you're on your computer and you want to pull up my Instagram on your phone or something, you can. That way you can I'll probably be referencing my Instagram a lot. So it's just Alli Mae Fletcher, ALLIMAE Fletcher. Just so that you can probably see some of the things I'm talking about so that you're not trying to picture it all in your head. But I wanted to talk a little bit before I get started into the nitty gritty. I'm going to do my very best not to overwhelm anybody, but I want to go ahead and prepare you. This is going to be a lot of information, a lot of things that I've learned in the past 10 months that I've been with Plexus. So if you are not grasping everything right now, don't get discouraged. Like I said, this has been stuff I've learned over the past 10 months, and I'm going to try and fit it into an hour. So definitely be taking some notes, and of course, I'm going to answer any questions that you may have. So first I wanted to talk about why Instagram is so important. So I joined Plexus July 1st before the new Facebook algorithm, and I ended up going gold in 2 months. And so I was able to really work my business through Facebook, not having to use Instagram at all. I was one of the very rare millennials that didn't really like Instagram that much, and went gold completely through Facebook and not through Instagram whatsoever. And then the new Facebook algorithm came about. And if you don't know a lot about the Facebook algorithm, I have about almost 5,000 friends on Facebook, and I'm only seeing about 50 of those people's content. With the way Facebook is set up now, they are trying to hide anyone that is selling anything. They will bury your content. If you're not doing it smart, then they're going to bury your content, and they will intentionally hide your stuff so that people aren't having to see that, because people are getting to the point where they don't want to see anything where anyone is selling anything. So it's become incredibly difficult to work your business, even if it's an MLM or even whatever kind of business it may be. It's becoming incredibly difficult to work through Facebook. And so I noticed after I went gold, my business was exploding and I was still in my warm market, but the algorithm really was making things tricky for me. And I was like, okay, I'm one of those people. I'm very red. And so I decided, I was like, I'm not just going to sit here and with my hands like this, okay, so this isn't working. What do I do? So I was like, I got to do something different. And so I started to look into Instagram, and my friend Sierra that's on here actually is a huge help and who has helped me grow my Instagram. She is an amazing source of knowledge as well. So I cannot take credit for all of this for sure. We all as a team have really just dug into this untapped market. It is for sure, there's no cap on how many followers you can have, whereas Facebook there is. There is an algorithm on Instagram, and I will go into that, but it's not near as tricky as Facebook. And the engagement, the opportunity for engaging on people's posts is just endless. It's amazing. So I just wanted to kind of go in and explain that up front, that it is a lot to learn, but it is an untapped market. And if you don't learn it someone else will, and someone else will take your potentials is what I ended up learning. Because at first I just was so overwhelmed by it all that I was like, I don't think I want to do this. But what I was learning is someone else is going to take my people. So someone else that's willing to learn the hard stuff. So before I go into like, posting and making your Instagram look good and things like that, all the technical stuff, I first want you to think about your brand. Your brand is who you are on social media. And when I first started presenting this to my team, a lot of people were like, I don't know what my brand is. I don't know who I am, blah, blah, blah. And it's so easy to think that, like, I don't know who I am, but don't overthink it. It is who you are, and you're just being more intentional about it. If you're a stay-at-home mom, then just be more intentional about that being your brand and connecting with people within your brand. So for me, for example, I'm a college student. I'm a nanny. I work about 60 hours a week, and so I didn't feel like I had any other part of my brand other than being in school, being a wife, and working. And so I really tried to channel those 3 things into my brand because I didn't feel like I had any other thing to really add to my brand. But I decided, okay, well, obviously I sell Plexus, but Plexus should never be your brand. If you are passionate about health and wellness, then health and wellness can be part of your brand. Or if you're passionate about working out, that can be part of your brand. And so I was really trying to discover who I was and how I was going to incorporate all of this. I had to do some experimenting. I tried to make things a part of my brand that just weren't who I was. I tried to be a fashion person, and I wear leggings and t-shirts every day. So that was not who I am. And you have to just try and stay true to yourself. Don't try to be anyone else other than yourself. And don't try to be impressive. Just be yourself, be authentic. And we're going to talk about that a lot. But it's all about just thinking, okay, who am I? And how can I display these things on social media more intentionally? So don't get so stressed out about your brand, because I used to, and it's just who you are. So first, let's talk about the 2 different ways, your 2 main ways to post on Instagram. You have Instagram stories, and you have your regular Instagram posts that are on your profile, So first, let's talk about stories. Stories are going to be where you post your everyday life, whether that's just, a funny GIF that you see or a funny meme, or, that's where I post a lot of my Plexus specials and graphics and things like that. And I'll go into why I post all of my graphics and stuff on my stories rather than my feed. But that is where you're going to do like the fun stuff and the everyday. That's where people are really going to get to know your personality. You definitely should be posting on your story every day. And then you have your regular posts, which do need to be more attractive photos, that do need to be, that's where people are going to decide if they're going to follow you, is by looking at your posts on Instagram. And if they're seeing a bunch of pictures of your pink drink or a bottle of Probio 5, they're going to immediately realize that you sell something, and they're not going to follow you. So, for example, when I was showing Amanda my Instagram last weekend, she's scrolling on my profile and she goes, well, you don't post about Instagram, or you don't post about Plexus on your Instagram feed. I was like, yeah, I do. And she goes, where? I said, exactly. You can't see it, can you? You have to dig to figure out I do Plexus. And we're going to talk about that more. But on your regular post, no Plexus graphics, nothing salesy, nothing that would give away that you sell something. So if you are going to do anything that looks remotely salesy, I would recommend doing that in your stories. Okay, so we'll get back into posting for a second, but I want to talk about some ways to actually spruce up your Instagram. So first things first, you want to make your Instagram public. If you have a private Instagram, people are not able to see your content. When you add hashtags, which I will get to in a second, people aren't going to be able to find your stuff through hashtags because your account is private. And you're just missing out on a whole bunch of followers that way, because we're very instantaneous type people. If I want to follow someone, I want to see their stuff right then. I don't want to wait until they can accept me to follow them. I know that makes a lot of moms really nervous. If you're one of those that you're like, I don't want people to see pictures of my kids, then I would recommend maybe creating a separate account for pictures of your kids that you can put private. But in terms if you want to grow your business, I definitely recommend making it public. I also recommend creating or changing your Instagram into a business account. The way you can do this is when you go to your Instagram profile, you're going to click Edit Profile. I'm actually already have mine as a business account, so I might not be able to see it, but you should be able to, once you get to this, be able to change it to a business account. Most people will change it to personal blog. Mine is under actor because I actually do some acting stuff and modeling stuff, so that's why mine's under that. But most people change it to personal blog. Don't change it to public figure unless you have like 10,000 or more followers, because it just kind of looks silly. But so that's the reason that's important, is because you are able to view your stats. And so you're able to view the demographic of people that are viewing your posts. You're able to see the average age of people that are viewing your posts, if it's more male or female, and the main part of the country that your posts are being seen from. You're also able to see your most popular posts, the ones they'll recommend that you can promote some posts, things like that. And they're able to say, okay, look, here's the content that's the most popular. Is there a pattern in the stuff that's more popular? So it's a really, really great tool to see just the stats on your profile. It's really, really awesome, and I love it. Another thing to spruce up just the look of your Instagram is your name on your profile and your username. You never want that to be the exact same. We normally don't recommend that people's username on Instagram is their actual name. Mine is Alli Mae Fletcher, just because I don't know. I mean, people just know me as that, and so I really, really wanted to stick to my guns and keep that. So what would a page title be for a business profile? I'm pretty sure that's just your name. I'm assuming it's going to create a Facebook account, like a Facebook page for you, but you can just make it private and it's not a big deal. But anyway, so for example, let me show you. So if you want your Instagram username to be your name, then I recommend changing the actual name on underneath your picture to be something different, because you don't want it to match. I don't really know why, but it just looks so much more professional and so much more clean put together when they're different. So for example, my friend Sierra, her username is The Sweeting Life, I'm pretty sure is what it is. And then so she has her regular name, Sierra Sweeting, underneath her thing, but you never want it to match. Also, something that's super important, this is going to be your storefront in terms of your Instagram, is your bio. A lot of people, I was telling someone this the other day, it's always, you'll see a lot of people's bios that are, and there's nothing wrong with these things, let me just add this disclaimer, but you'll see a lot of the same things on people's bios. You'll see saved by grace, wife, mama, things like that. And there's nothing wrong with that, but you want to make sure your bio, explains who you are, like what are people going to see. You're telling them, okay, this is what you're going to see in my feed right away. And that's probably what's going to determine if they're going to follow you or not. And you want to make sure you are able to stand out. That can be, a quote that you like. For me, I just put, I love these things. And it just kind of explained, I talk about mental health. I talk about Jesus. I talk about holistic health. I love animals and I love musical theater. That's what I post about right there. And so you can make it super simple like that, or you can add a cute little quote or something like that. But you want to make sure you stand out and it's not just regular old wife, mom, health advocate or something like that. You want to make sure it stands out in some way. Another thing, and this seems to be people's biggest struggle with Instagram, and it was mine at least. And so this is going to take some practice. But with your Instagram, you want to make sure your feed has a theme, a color theme of some sort. It's not as complex as it sounds. I took it like way to the extreme when I first started. If you scroll down to several months ago when I was trying to experiment with this, you will have to experiment for sure. Because, for example, when I first started, I didn't have a lot of natural lighting, but I was trying to do the bright colors. Didn't work out for me because I'm inside working 50 hours a week as a nanny. And so I didn't have the natural lighting that I needed to have bright photos on my Instagram. So what I decided was, okay, a lot of my pictures are taken inside. I'm not able to have that natural lighting, so I'm going to do a brown and black theme. So if you go through my Instagram, you can tell that brown and black is a major theme that was on my feed for a while. I actually, when I went to Destin, took so many pictures that I decided next week I'm going to start working Plexus full time, which means I'm going to start being able to take more natural light photos. And so I was like, okay, I think I'm ready to do the light colors now. And so you can see where I've just recently changed my theme. So if you can ignore about 8 posts up and see, that was where I had the brown and black theme going on. But you want your feed to be attractive, because if it just looks like a bunch of random pictures, wow, my computer shaked when I did that. If it just looks like a bunch of random pictures, there's just something about it being appealing to the eye that people are attracted to. And it makes people, I mean, we all have those people that you're like, oh my gosh, their Instagram just looks so good. I want to follow them. It just looks so put together. And so I use an app called Visco. It's VSCO. It's just an amazing editing app where I just use the same filter to make it easy. Just use the same filter every single time. And if you have in your head what you want a photo to look like ahead of time, rather than just editing aimlessly, then you tend to match the theme. So, like I said, that takes a lot of playing around with. You're not going to get it on your first try, and you may decide you want to do a theme, and then once you start seeing it on your Instagram, you probably won't like it, and then just redo it. It's all good. Any of us that have a theme have definitely experimented a lot. So the last thing in terms of making your Instagram look good and look professional is Instagram highlights, your story highlights. So for those of you that don't know, you can have highlights on your Instagram profile, and that's what these, that's what these yellow things are on my profile. Basically, I try to get them to match my brand as much as possible. So I have beauty, where I put all of my makeup tips and earrings and fashion things. I have Piper, which is my dog. I have WW, which is Wellness Wednesday. I do, every Wednesday I do like a little series on something to do with health and wellness. I never mentioned Plexus at all. And then I have Nanny Life, which is just a bunch of videos and pictures of me and the kids. And then I have Marriage, which is a bunch of pictures and videos of me and my husband. What basically you'll do is, if you are posting on your stories, Instagram will actually save all of your stories in archives. When you decide you want to add a highlight, you just click New, and you can categorize all of them together into one highlight. And that way when people go to your profile, they're able to watch all the things that you put in the highlight. I personally, I just like for things to look organized and clean and the same. And so you'll see a lot of people that do the same color. That way it looks more uniform. I create my graphics for this on Canva, Canva, but you can also look up Instagram highlight covers on Pinterest. So if you want to make it easy. But of course, there's not as many options on Pinterest as there would be if you can make it yourself. But yeah, so that's really in terms of making your Instagram look clean and nice and attractive to the eye, or appealing to the eye. And those are the things what people are going to follow you based off of. So that's going to be your storefront. So now let's talk about in terms of posting and really working Instagram once you have the attractive part of it. So you need to be posting on Instagram once or twice a day. Never more than twice, just like Facebook has their own algorithm, Instagram has theirs. I personally only post once a day just because I don't want to waste enough content. I'd rather be posting once a day than skip a day. But you do need to be posting every single day on Instagram. I have an app called When to Post, and it's different for every single person, which is what I love about it. It connects to your Instagram, and it'll give you the 3 best times for you to post that day. And the times change every single day based on the traffic on your Instagram. And so it'll tell you, 11:45, 4:45, and 7:45 are going to be your 3 best times. When you click on the app, it may not be within those 3 times, but it may happen to be just a good traffic hour. It'll say, hey, post right now. It's actually a pretty good traffic hour right now. And so you can, if you happen to just click on it and you're like, okay, let me just come up with a post really quick. So I swear by that app. I have never posted within the times that they recommend and not have a lot of engagement going on. So I love that app. I post once a day. I normally just pick one of the times. And what you want to do in those posts, there's a few rules that are going to help your algorithm score, I guess, in terms of engagement and making, it's called when to post. Just regular, it's one word, but you should just be able to type it in the App Store. Okay, so there's a few things that are going to kind of boost your visibility and help your engagement. Number 1, you want to have emojis in your post. For some reason, that just helps your visibility. Of course, not a ton, because it's kind of aggravating to try and read posts and there's just emojis everywhere, but you do want to have some emojis to help your visibility. You also want to have hashtags. These hashtags need to be related to your brand and related to the picture that you're posting. I never do more than 15, and I try not to do less than 10. So between 10 and 15. And like I said, related to the picture and related to the brand. Now, here's the catch that not a lot of people know. Never use the same hashtag over and over again. I don't really know why. Maybe Sierra, maybe you know why. But I just know that it buries your content if you continue to use the same hashtag. So if you're using hashtag boy mom on every photo, it's not doing anything for your engagement. So another rule about hashtags is do not put hashtags in the comments. I know a lot of people do that because they want to put a bunch of them, and they'll end up putting them in the comments, but they actually hides your photo when you put the hashtags in the comments. So do not do that. And yeah, they can view it as spam, and Instagram can hide your post. Yeah. I guess when you're using the same hashtags, it'll flag it as spam. Another thing, I was trying to remember. And when you're using hashtags, before you make it your hashtag, it'll, say you're typing in hashtag marriage, it'll pop up recommendations. You want to kind of make sure you're hashtagging to different numbers of people. So for example, hashtag marriage is probably going to have 7 million posts under hashtag marriage. Whereas under hashtag marriage life or something like that, that would probably be 700,000. You want to make sure you are getting to the lower numbers. It's okay to do a few with a 1 or 2 million, but you don't want to do all of your hashtags with that many people, because when you go on there, if there's that many people using that hashtag, your post is not going to stay at the top for very long. So I try to do hashtags between 200,000 and 700,000, around in there, just so that your post can stay at the top for a while. So when you go to these hashtags, what I try to do is I try to take 30 minutes a day, and at least 30 minutes to an hour a day when I'm just laying in bed anyways, scrolling through social media, and just engage on those people who have used that hashtag. If you decide to do this, do not use less than 2 words when engaging on someone's post, because they will flag that as spam as well. So if you're going to comment on someone's post, don't do nice exclamation point. I'm sure a lot of you have seen, if you're using hashtags, you'll probably get some people who comment stuff like that. It's normally a computer system or someone not actually commenting on your stuff, and they'll end up flagging it. So you want to make sure if you are engaging on people's posts that that you're actually putting in some genuine content. I also take, in part of that time that I'm engaging on people's stuff, I will just scroll through the people I already have on Instagram. I go through people's stories and I respond to every person's story. I try to find something to say. This is just because that message goes straight to their inbox. They're going to be more likely to go to if they're not already following me, they're more likely to go to my profile after that, because I'm already, they're already paying attention to me. This is especially if they have a lot of followers. I'm not going to just blend in with the rest of the people commenting on their stuff. excuse me. And of course you want to be engaging on their your news feed as well. Because Instagram has an algorithm where if you are viewed as someone who is taking all the love but not giving any love, then they're not going to promote your content. So you want to make sure you're being seen as someone who gives and takes. And you're someone that's able to contribute, I guess is the word. So, and I'm huge on relationship building on Instagram. Every person, first, if anyone comments on your post on Instagram, you need to make sure you respond as soon as you can, because that helps your engagement as well. And any new follower that I get on Instagram, I message them almost immediately. Everyone does this differently. Personally, what I do is I'll go to their profile and I'll try to find something to message them about. I recently messaged someone, was like, oh my goodness, you have such a cute profile. I see that you are in college. What college do you go to? I'm actually graduating in next weekend. And so I'm able to start that conversation with them. And I try to carry on that conversation for as long as I can. And it's just huge to, I tried at first to message people and be like, hey, thanks for the follow, and like I just felt like it just didn't sound super genuine. And so I'm trying now like this new approach with really just being authentic and caring about people and trying to add value to their life. Because that's really what social media is about. We were talking in our team call the other day how it's very ironic that people think network marketers are so sleazy and so sketchy, but you cannot do well in network marketing without truly caring about people. You just can't. And so you have to genuinely be reaching out to people and genuinely building those relationships with others. So I try to be super intentional about that, and make sure my heart's in the right place with, engaging on other people's stuff. Because if your heart's in the right place and you're truly caring about people and truly trying to add value to their life, through your content and through the relationships that you're building in messages, then the sale's going to come naturally, And so that's just something I've had to learn the hard way. So yeah, that's really how to build your audience, I guess is the word, and really just have your engagement on Instagram. It is a process. It is something that, when I started doing this, I had a pretty good following. I think I had about 2,400 followers when I started working Instagram. And now I have about 4,400, I think, or something like that. And I also work full time, so I don't work Instagram as much as I would like. I do work it more than Facebook, but next Thursday will be my first day. A week from today will be my first day working for Plexus full time. So I'm super excited to see how my following goes up. So I'm super excited, but it's just such a great way to connect with strangers, because I'm seeing Facebook as more and more of a friends and family. Like if a stranger requests you on Instagram or on Facebook, you're like, why is this person requesting me? That's a little weird. But Instagram, when someone follows you and you don't know them, it's just like casual. And so I was telling someone at Ruby Retreat last weekend, most of my team is from Instagram, and I think I have about 125 people on my team, and I think I've only met about 7 or 8 of them in person. Everyone else is just people I've met on social media. So if you just try and be someone, I tell my team all the time, you want to be someone that people, because life is stressful, you want to be someone that people will, when they're scrolling through Instagram, they wonder what you're up to, and they escape to your profile to escape from life. I have a girl that I follow on Instagram who's a Beachbody coach, and I am not remotely interested in Beachbody, but her content is just so refreshing and so entertaining that I just love to watch her stuff. And so you want to be someone that's just refreshing and someone that people look forward to watching on social media, because it really is a great escape. It really is. And a great way to do that is through vulnerability. If you followed me on social media for any time period at all, you know that I'm like the queen of vulnerability. Like I literally do not care what I share. And so for me, I feel like a lot of my following has come from me just sharing about my struggles with mental health. And I've had so many people come out and say, you have given me the courage to, speak up about this too. And like, you have empowered me to feel this way. And so, that's what social media is about. I mean, there are so many negative things that can come with it, sure, but let's use it for good and empower people to, be inspired and to speak up about the struggles in life. And, like if you can find the good in it, then people are going to naturally trust you, whether they know you or not. So that's really all I have. If y'all have any questions.
Yes, Allie, oh my gosh, I took 2 pages of notes. I'm such a nerd. I have got to okay, I do have a question. I'll get us started. Okay, so if we are trying to do our highlights, oh, it just popped up. Okay, just kidding. I thought that my page was a business page. It was not. So you totally taught me how to do that tonight. And then now I just figured out how to do the highlights thing. Okay, just kidding. Guys, if you'll do the business, I don't know if you guys can see this, but it'll pop up and show you like the little circles and then you can add it. Okay. Who else has a question? Because I know several of you said, I hope she's going to have a question and answer session because I have some. Who's got a question? Leanne, I know you had a question.
I did. I was trying to unmute myself because I was in my Instagram totally revamping everything. First, you are absolutely phenomenal. I have a daughter your age, and I'm very impressed, and I don't mean that any way than extremely positive. One of the things that I found interesting is that she's pregnant, and she does not want any pictures of the baby posted at all on Facebook because she's just petrified of creepy people. And that is so strange to me because she has grown up in an era of social media. But I just thought that was a very interesting take. So my question is, have you ever boosted any of your posts or advertising at all whatsoever? Now I understand to make it a business page, and I did that. I'll have to watch a YouTube video on making the highlights or get with Melissa. But have you ever boosted your post or paid for advertising on Instagram?
I have, and I have seen some success with it. I will say that I have seen more success with partnering with Loops. There are different accounts that will do giveaways and or follow Loops or something like that. And like, say for example, there's an account that's doing a $500 home goods gift card giveaway. You can buy into that for like $30 and get like 2,000 followers from it.
Wow.
So
okay.
I think your money is better spent doing something like that. You can just search Loops in the search bar.
Okay.
Instagram, and there's all kinds of loops going on, giveaways going on, and you just message them and be like, hi, I'd like to participate in your next giveaway. And
okay.
They'll normally, you can message me about stuff like that, but yeah, that I would say your money is better spent on things like that.
Now, do they create the post, or do they give you instructions?
Yeah, it's all like in the post that they do. They'll say, okay, on this day, post this it'll be like a graphic saying like $500 home goods,
okay,
and you'll post it and be like, to enter, do the following things. And normally to enter, you have to follow everyone who's participating in the giveaway.
Okay.
Which is how you get that many followers.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you taking the time tonight.
Yeah, of course.
That's awesome. That is some good information right there. All right. Who else? Becky, do you have your hand raised? Do you have a question? She has her hand raised. I didn't even know that was a thing, but there's like a little hand that's like this.
No, I don't have my hand raised that I know of, but no, I didn't have a question.
Okay, good. Okay. I think.
Yeah, lower hand. I don't know how that happened.
That's pretty cool. Like, that's so polite. I thought that was so neat. Okay. Anybody else have any questions, or is anybody like busy fixing their Instagram? Oh, Jen.
So, Alli Mae, what do you post about Plexus then when you do?
Let me show you an example that I was showing Amanda the other night because she was like, you don't post about Plexus. I was like, yeah, I do. Watch. but it's not obvious, because I never want someone to go to my profile and go, oh, it is very obvious that she's selling something, not following her. For example, I posted this picture of my coffee, and I said, I love coffee, absolutely love it. Coffee is my soulmate, but it used to rule my life. I once made a joke that I have to pray before I make coffee in the morning so it wouldn't be idolatry. Laughing face. But seriously, I needed it. I couldn't make it through the day without at least 4 cups, and then I would still be dying for a nap. Now that my body is balanced, I don't crash in the afternoons. I'm not worried about all the sugar I was dumping into daily cups, and I drink more water because coffee dehydrates you. So I still have a morning cup. That's all I want. And can I talk about how much money I've saved cutting my coffee addiction? I used to spend approximately $200 a month to feel like crap. No thanks. Never said plexus. I meant to talk about that. I never use the word plexus in my posts. You want to create mystery, and the last thing I would want is for someone to see plexus in my posts and then go buy off Plexus Worldwide website or buy from another distributor or ambassador. And so I like to create mystery in my posts by never using the word plexus. You'll see me post like maybe a picture of the supplements in my hand and say, I'm so thankful for these all natural supplements that have helped me with my anxiety or something like that. But you'll never see me use the word plexus in my posts.
I think that's also a really good tip for Facebook as well.
Yes.
I've been trying not to use the word plexus in my Facebook post as well.
Yes.
Anybody else? You can raise your hand here, apparently. It's great. Okay, well, I'm sure we're all like, if you're like me, I'm sitting here I've downloaded those 3 apps that you told us about. I'm already making my little highlight covers. I'm going to be up till 3 o'clock in the morning making my Facebook so pretty. I mean, my Instagram so pretty.
Hey, Melissa, I do have one more question.
Okay, go ahead.
And I saw it in one of the chats, and it's a good question. What do you use for stories? I just figured out about stories, so I'm way behind the curveball. But is that, you say you post once on Instagram a day, but how many times would you recommend doing a story? And specifically, what are you doing as your story?
You can post as much as you want on your stories, because that is your daily life. That is literally like, you don't have to be impressive on your stories.
Okay.
So for me, like, I just post like random stuff, and I post a lot of my dog. If y'all are following me on Instagram now, you're about to see a lot of my dog on my Instagram stories. I post a lot of the kids that I watch. If I see a funny meme, that's where I'm going to post it, is on my Instagram
Okay.
story. Maybe I'll take a screenshot of my verse of the day on my Bible app. I'll post that. And, really just random things that come to your head throughout the day. You can use, like, if you're, for example, like our team does like a health and happiness event or a week of pink or something like that. We'll use the app called Hype Type. And you can make like a cute little promo video that you can add to your Instagram story. But for the most part, in terms of just like everyday type stories, just don't really use anything. You kind of just post on there.
And you do not use the word plexus or any specials or anything like that there?
I do on my stories. I never
on your
use
stories
on my feed.
Okay. All right.
So like on this, you'll never see me use the word plexus.
Okay.
These, for example, do I have any stories? See, look, for today, I posted this testimony or a text that I got from a customer.
Okay.
And I just got this message from a friend. I'm in the business of changing lives, y'all. I feel so blessed. And like, I'll post, specials like I did the other day. It's $10 to join me right now, or something like that.
Right.
Like, that's where I do my specials and my graphics and things like that. But even then, I try to veer away from the word plexus.
Okay. Just using it for, occasionally.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Because remember, this is your Instagram is who you are, and you are not plexus. You are someone who just happens to use plexus products and share them with others. And so you just want to like somehow make it natural and coming up,
I think that is so good. That is such
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
And Melissa, you wrote down that one that makes the video, right? Hype Type.
No, I missed that one.
Okay.
I was writing away. I got the Canva, and I got the VSCO. I got that one, and then when to post. Got that one. And
Okay.
to search on it. Okay, I got that one. I think we got it all. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I have seen where it's like their Instagram is the same as a Facebook post. So is it connected?
You can, oh, I should have touched on this. Thanks for reminding me. You can connect your Facebook to your Instagram. I do not recommend that. I do put my Facebook link in my bio, but I do not post on Instagram and Facebook at the same time. And it actually varies on your Facebook if you are sharing on Instagram and just put the little Facebook, if you touch the little Facebook button, it'll immediately automatically send to your Facebook. You don't want to do that. It's going to bury it on your Facebook, because Facebook does not like for you to leave Facebook. And if you are on Facebook and you see that it's from Instagram and you click on Instagram, it takes you from Facebook. Does that make sense? So and plus the times are different. If I'm not going to share on Facebook at 2:00 in the afternoon, because it's just different times for the different traffic hours.
So you can search traffic hours on that when to post for Facebook and for Instagram, and it's different.
When to post is only Instagram. On Facebook, I just use the general rule of 8 to 10 p.m. at night. Always works for me. 8 to 10 p.m. at night for Plexus posts, on Facebook. And so, yes, I do still use Facebook. I try to keep my content different, by the way. Sometimes if I'm just not feeling creative, then I'm not going to take the time to think of 2 different things. Or sometimes I'll delay the posts. Like, I always do my newer posts on Instagram, and then maybe a few days later I'll post it to Facebook. But I like to encourage the people that have me on Facebook to follow me on Instagram too. So that, it's different. It's not like they're viewing me on the same thing.
I like it. I like it a lot. Well,
and I do want to tell y'all, I was kind of hesitating on if I should share this or not, because it's kind of overwhelming. But there is an app that I'm in that has helped me a ton with my engagement. And it's called Telegram, Telegram. And basically what it is you'll be put in these little pods. And so if you message me, I'd be glad to add you to that. But I would need to you do need to be added to it. Like, you can't request to be added. But basically you would just create a Telegram account. And what it is you're put into these little pods. It's kind of like a little group chat. And they have in this particular pod that I'm in, you post, and so this kind of messes with your engagement. So I don't do this every single day because it might differ from the times on when to post. But for example, they do 4 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so what you do is you'll post right before 4 o'clock, so between 3:30 and 4 o'clock, and you'll put your link in the group chat. And at 4 o'clock, all links have to stop being posted. And between 4 and 5 or 4 and 4:30, you have to go back and like all of those people's posts. And they will do the same thing for you. And so you'll see on some of my posts, I've gotten 700 likes. Those are the times that I've done Telegram. Because I have all these accounts who are also trying to grow their businesses, who are liking my stuff, and it's boosting my visibility.
That's pretty cool. But gosh, how long does it take for you to like all those people's stuff?
It's never taken me more than 15 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And it's worth it.
Wow.
Totally worth it.
Longer than that, but yeah, that's pretty awesome. Alli, thank you so much for doing this for us. This was wonderful. I got so much out of this. I'm going to be digging into Instagram now, but I feel more comfortable about it now. Before, I was just completely overwhelmed and I didn't even know where to start. But at least I have, I don't know if you guys agree, but at least I have, some steps and things to go by. So I'll probably be messaging you.
Yes, y'all can totally message me. Like I said, this has been a 10-month process of learning and trying to figure out, what I want and what I want it to look like when I'm trying to achieve here. So just be encouraged. Do not get discouraged by it, because when I first started, I wanted to quit so badly. I was like, no, this is just frustrating. But just stick with it and continue to just do your best at it, and eventually you'll get the hang of it. Now it's not even a second thought for me. I was terrified to try and start a new theme. And now I'm just like, oh, I got this. I can do this. And so the more practice, the better you'll get at it.
Excellent. Thank you so much again. I really appreciate it.
Yes.
Guys, have a great night. Allie, you're amazing.